Hey guys, I'm showing off the brand new Yubel stuff that this released this morning. My first matchup is going to be against Labyrinth. We are playing a pretty common build of this deck. We are using super polymerization as well as a ton of hand traps to really formulate how this deck can work really well. I was playing Armor Rouge for a little bit because, you know, I was basing it off the TCG, but then I realized, hey, Link Karibo is available and it's a lot better of a card, so I switched that later on. So we're going to use our Nightmare Pain to search for a card, and the card of choice is going to be the Lotus, and we're also going to pop our Yubel. Now this Gamma is kind of a hindrance, you know, we are about to get a free Yubel, but we're going to use the fusion effect instead here to go into something. Now he's going to use that card to pop our Nightmare Pain, but he's also going to use the effect of our his RN to trigger our Spirit. Now this is also going to trigger his Full Force Virus. Now honestly, we're not in a bad spot here, so we pop the Yubel to trigger it to bring out Terror Incarnate, and he's also going to be able to special summon something from his graveyard. The card of choice is going to be the lovely Labyrinth. Now Terror Incarnate is here. We're going to set 3, and then we're going to go into a Link 2. The Link 2 of choice right here is going to be the SP Little Knight, and we're going to use Little Knight here to get rid of that lovely Labyrinth. You know, I might as well get an attack in, and that will be it. Now I'm thinking in my hand Super Polymerization is my play as well as Eternal Favorite, so I need a card in hand. Looks like he didn't draw any gas or anything, so we're good to go for a turn. Opening is a really good draw, especially with all things considered. We're also going to use the Phantom right away to recycle our Yubels. Now Dark Beckoning Beast is going to get us a second opening. I later cut this to 1 copy, and then we're going to use Eternal Favorite just to have it face up just in case. Because having that Dark Beckoning Beast, if he does choose to summon something, I can now use one of my monsters as material. That's a good draw as well. We're going to activate the Mature Chronicle just in case we do get some Yubels going. And we're going to use Dark Beckoning Beast to go into Nightmare Phoenix. I want to pop one of those face downs, and we have the extra opening in hand. Looks like it's a Dharma Cannon, and it looks like he's going to use the effect of Lovely, or the Labyrinth in hand. That's going to trigger our Phantom. Honestly, that interaction played out really good to our favor. Popping that Spirit of Yubel and getting rid of that magical Labyrinth. Now Spirit of Yubel is going to bring a Yubel, and our opponent's going to surrender there. Honestly, this deck is pretty like Wally, but it works out in the end. On to the next clip. Alright, on to the next clip. This wasn't the best showing of the deck. I just thought it was really funny how much the Unchained carried this situation. Now we're going to use Unchained Shavara. We opened up with the Shavara and the trap, so we used the trap as our pop to also get us an extra Shavara, since it's not limited in this format, so we can play it at more than 1 copy. Looks like my opponent is on Mathmic. We're going to use that Called By on the Sigma to get rid of that. Honestly, I'm trying to keep him out of getting 2 summons as much as I possibly can, and Sigma was a good target to add there. Now I see the addition. I'm going to use the Soul of Rage. Honestly, this was kind of a test. If the target that he is trying to add to isn't on the field, does it still go through? Now I could have went SP Little Knight here to get another piece of interaction, but Anguish I felt like was a better play. Circular is here. Now we have 2 level lights on the field. We're going to fuse those together to get out our Garura. You know, Super Poly is an outable force for 2 monsters, and it looks like that's all the gas he had for him. Anguish effect now is we're gonna steal that, get into an access code talker. With 5,300 attack, we have lethal on board actually. With that 5,000 as well as Garura, that's lethal. Really quick game, just really wanted to showcase a bricky hand with a lot of interaction still gets you somewhere. Alright, my opponent's going first. Our hand is not that bad. We opened up some pretty nice stuff. Our opponent's on Salamangreat. This is a really strong deck, and Lady Debug is a really strong opening. He must not have a lot of gas, because usually the search of choice is Code of Soul with Lady Debug, but we're going to see what he does. Now, this is also a big tell for him. Using that Balinx as his double link summon really tells me, hey, I need to trigger this Gazelle to keep going. So as of right now, I really have some points of interest. I could have stopped the Gazelle, maybe locked him into 2 links, but I didn't really think that was my play. Wicked, he's going to use Wicked here to get rid of Balinx. Now this also shows that, hey, I already have Weasel in hand if that doesn't go through, because Wicked is the one that searches for Tuner Cyberse monster. But Princess is here. Princess is going to get him another level 3. Now I see he went for the synchro to get access to the Code of Soul. I want to lock him out of summoning any more of his Code of Soul. I don't want to give him access to that extra link summon that card bestows upon him. So with that, he opens up the Raging Phoenix, but this card isn't that good if you don't have the other opportunity. Now Balinx, he's really grasping for straws here. He's going to use that Balinx to get him a draw. He summons a mirror, ends 1 card face down. Now he also has the Maxi, it looks like. So really, we're going to use Nightmare Pain. Now this was a huge misplay on my part. He could have easily negated the Balinx, but luckily he didn't. We're going to get our Terror Incarnate, return those 2 to get right into a Phantom Yubel. Kind of misplayed there, actually. I should have went into a link first and then Phantom Yubel. Use that Terror Incarnate. You want to use your Yubels as much as you possibly can. Now we're going to see that he's not going to allow us to go into our Spirit of Yubel. Now I kind of catch the Imperm is there. So Dark Beckoning Beast is going to get negated, which is unfortunate, but with that 1-for-1, we can just use Sam D Lotus as material to get another Sam D Lotus, which we do. Lotus is here. We're going to tribute, get our Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel is going to get us a card. Effect Veiler. Our opponent has a lot of interaction, looks like a lot of draw cards in his deck, so we're really just trying to build up a good move. We're going to fuse those 2 into the Phantom of Yubel once again. We're going to go into Dark Beckoning Beast, which is going to be Unchained Soul, and we're going to then get a Shavara. We're going to link off once again into, we're going to go SP Little Knight here. I could have did things a little bit differently, but as soon as SP Little Knight is summoned, our opponent's going to surrender. Now we had Nightmare Pain, Spirit of Yubel. We are still in a really good spot. Just really showed how a good interaction, good place to interrupt, as well as just having enough gas to play through interruptions really is what this deck can do. Alright, going first. This is a cool hand. I got the Nightmare Pain, I got the Mature Chronicle. Let's see what we can do. Nightmare Pain starting off. It's a good hand if everything goes your way, but that is exactly the piece of interaction he needed to interrupt me. Now I could have went Phantom Yubel pass, but I felt like Super Poly was a better target here. Now my opponent is on Supreme King, it looks like. Now this is going to be a good duel. I haven't really got to experience this deck yet. I do have it built, so you guys will be seeing it very soon, but I honestly haven't learned the combos for this. It's a very complex pendulum engine. Pendulum engines are no joke on how they perform. He gets the Supreme King summon. He's going to get that Supreme Pendulum Evolution, which unlocks him another Pendulum summon. Now a Pendulum deck, this deck is better than it is in the TCG because of this card, Electromite. Electromite being allowed is insane, especially with this Astrograph Sorcerer as well. The free special summon of a 7 through combo, as well as Electromite triggers it so easily. He's going to get a card from this, as well as get that Supreme King Zark back, and he's going to use it. He's going to go into a Link 3. Now this is another new card. Exceed the Pendulum is no joke for Pendulum decks. but he's going to add that level 7 right back, and he's going to special summon it, and this will trigger its effect. He's going to get his first Synchro Dragon, Zark, the Synchro version, which is really cool. It can summon that easily in this deck. Now he's going to be summoning 0 through 8. He summons 2 level 7s as well as, or 3 level 7s. Now I see this as my opportunity to Super Poly. I take away the Exceed and the Light to get out of Garura. I need some kind of defense, but I also need some kind of way to you know, get more cards. Now these two are going to be his next move, which he's going to go into an IP Mask Arena. Now this is an interesting play because Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon is an insane card. Now with Spirit of Yubel in my hand, I can actually special summon it for free, but Vortex can negate that. Funny part is, I wanted you to negate it because that brings out the actual Yubel in my graveyard. Now you're forced to attack this card and you're taking 5,000 and then another 1,600. I took out most of your life points with just one card in my hand. Didn't really need to use the Super Poly, but SP Little Knight is here. This will out my card, and he has the Secret Village of the Spellcasters online. Now I'm not really worried. He has 3 cards in hand, but Nightmare Pain is on the field. Maxi is here. But we're going to pop our own Garura, which will give us a card. We're going to get our Grave Squirmer, and we're going to see what we can draw. Dark Beckoning Beast is a really good draw. We're going to discard Grave Squirmer for that 1-for-1 target, and then we're going to bring back Spirit of Yubel. Now, Spirit of Yubel is going to bring a set, that Eternal Favorite, and Dark Beckoning Beast is going to normal, get the opening, get another Dark Beckoning Beast. Samsara Lotus is here. We're going to bring out another of our card, and this will end the game due to Nightmare Pain. Really good moves. Like we're putting up a lot of board, our opponents are putting a lot of board presence, but we're breaking through them very smoothly. Alright, not a bad hand. Opening up Nightmare Throne is what we like to see. Nightmare Sloan pop the Spirit of Yubel. We're going to bring out a Yubel to hand. Now we got Nightmare Pain. We're going to pop our Grave Squirmer to get D-Lotus. D-Lotus is going to tribute summon for the Spirit of Yubel, which we already have the Eternal Favorite, so Mature Chronicles is a good card to have in hand. Chavara to pop the Yubel to get out the Terror Incarnate. Mature Chronicles is here. I should have activated that first, but we'll live and learn. I'm going to use the Shinvara and the Terror Incarnate to go into Lord of Yama. Lord of Yama effect, we're going to get our other Unchained. This is why I like to play 2. I feel like 2 is the perfect amount. Since Shavara isn't at 1 in this current format, we got a free trap as well. There we go, another Shavara. Grave Squirmer effect, we're going to get ourselves out the D-Lotus just to use it as link material here to go into the Soul of Rage. Now I feel like this is a really strong board. With Spirit of Yubel on the field, Eternal Favorite is online. Phantom Yubel can bring us another access to another fusion and negate, and Soul of Rage can take away a card. Now Gold Sarcophagus I feel like is a good opportunity here to negate. Kind of forgot that the field spell acts as Gold Sarcophagus or King Sarcophagus. It wasn't my best play, but honestly stopping him from adding 2 cards to hand, excuse me, is a good move in my part. Dingirsu is here. I feel like I kind of misplayed here. I should have forced the fusion on summon, took away 2 of his monsters instead of letting him get to that Dingirsu, because now I just lost a free SP Low Knight, which I could have easily stopped. Now my opponent shows what else he's on. Centurion Horus. Now this is the first time I've seen Centurion since the new format, and it's a really cool deck. He's trying to set himself up for a level 12 on his next turn. I see it, but he's forced to go to battle here. He's going to take his 3,200, and he's going to realize that's not enough. 1 level 12 isn't going to be enough here, and he's going to surrender. Alright. On to the next match of choice. Our normal is going to be the Grave Squirmer since we have the Spirit of Yubel in hand. Linkuriboh was now added. I realized, hey, Linkuriboh's available. Let's have it. We special summon that Spirit of Yubel to get the Nightmare Pain. I'm gonna get the Nightmare Pain online to activate it, to get the Samdar Lotus for next turn, as well as get us a Yubel for this turn. Now, Super Poly's on field, so I kind of still have some interaction, as well as Max C is online. Our opponent had the call by for the Max C, which was unfortunate. I will soon realize that this is going to be a really tough match ahead of me, because I won't spoil it. Let you see the first card. Pure Search for the D Lotus. We're in a mirror match, boys. He loses 4,000 points of damage, which honestly is very crucial because we're fighting for the #1 spot here. We're both playing kind of burn engines somewhat, so this could go either player's way. He's going to get his Yubel online, and Shavara is going to be on the field. There it is, bring out the Terra Incarnate. Now I feel like this is the perfect time to use that Super Polymerization. Using this effect to bring out the ace monster of the deck, the Loving Defender Forever. Now this card is pretty awesome. He's going to take another 1,500 damage right away. He'll get his Trap Search, but with no other card, not really good for him. He's going to get that Phantom of Yubel, and he's going to go into a Link 2 of choice here, and the Link 2 is going to be the SP Little Knight. Now with SP Little Knight here, he's going to take out my Loving Defender, and he's also going to banish to bring back his Yubel. Link 3 of choice is going to be here, or it goes into a Link 2, my apologies, Nightmare Phoenix. Nightmare Phoenix discarding his extra Nightmare Pain, sets 2 and passes. Now I'm sitting on this called by. I feel like called by could put me in a bad situation, but luckily for us we have the Nightmare Pain as our top deck. Eternal Favorite is here. He's going to use the effect to bring back Yubel. Now Nightmare Pain is going to cost us to battle, hit us for both 0, and I was hoping since that had an effect that did damage, I could activate the Phantom Yubel chaining. He gets the Throne. Now, Throne into this introduction is kind of harder to deal with. Eternal Favorite is here as well. I see the opportunity to call by. I haven't had access to Squirmer at all, but my opponent has the Crossout set face down. Especially for a mirror match, that's a crazy card. Eternal Favorite, he goes into, but decides to not use my... Oh, he can't use my card because it can't be used as the fusion material. He misplayed. I forgot. I was like, oh, I remember this clip, and I still forgot about the interaction. So he still gets his Terra Incarnate, and he has some boss monsters on the field. Now he attempts to activate that, which was a misplay on his part, because that gives me free access to something, and I'm going to choose my Terra Incarnate, because Terra Incarnate now will blow away his board at the end of the turn. He's going to use Phantom and his Terra Incarnate to go into the Lord of Yama. Lord of Yama effect, he's going to get his Shavara back to hand, and he's going to use the Shavara to pop his Loving Defender, but now he didn't realize he's not reading his own cards. Loving Defender cannot be destroyed by card effect. So Soul of Anguish is here, and this play was very, very, he got greedy, per se. He could have easily popped his Unchained trap and won this duel here, but due to the greediness, he missed out. Now, using summoning one more time, he's still short 1,700. Going into my turn, let's see what we can do. Dark Beckoning Beast. We're going to fuse into this. Dark Beckoning Beast normal summon. He's going to use the effect of that, and I'm going to chain the effect of Phantom Yubel of my own, and that will seal this game pretty much, because we're going to use this effect to destroy my Yubel, and this will also bring out a Yubel of choice from my hand. He realizes that he's open for the 5,300 damage, and that's game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is my deck list for Yubel. Honestly, all things considered, Yubel isn't that expensive when it comes to certain cards. All of the monsters are non-UR except for Shavara, but that was already previously released. Nightmare Throne is the only card that they decided to make UR in the core main deck. And when it comes to the extra deck, Yubel and Loving Defender, they actually made this deck pretty affordable. I do like the deck a lot. I had a lot of fun playing it. The interactions can get a little intense. It will take some learning to fully master this. I just hope I gave you guys a pretty cool showcase of the deck. Crazy cards. Man, the Spirit of Yubel just perfectly chains together the actual Yubel. You could just constantly be bringing Yubels out of the deck. If they are stuck in your graveyard, use Phantom to re-put them back into the graveyard. It was so fun. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. I didn't get to show off the full... I think I showed off pretty much everything. There could have been some combos. I didn't really get to show the most complete end board. You could end easily with Appaloosa, Unchained, Soul of Rage, and like a Yubel. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm so glad to be back, and thanks you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.